If you want deeper soil, stronger plants, and harvests that keep improving every single year, this is one of those episodes you'll want to save. Amish growers quietly follow a few nutrient cycling rules they never break, and most modern gardeners get these wrong without realizing it. Before we go any further, make sure you subscribe to Evergreen Garden and drop a comment below telling me what you're growing this season, because this channel is built for gardeners who care about long-term soil health, not quick fixes. Amish nutrient cycling starts with feeding soil organisms first, not plants. The Amish never ask what fertilizer a plant wants before asking what the soil biology needs. This is where most gardeners go wrong. They chase nitrogen numbers on a bag instead of building a living system. Amish soil is fed in layers, not doses. Compost is never applied just to add nutrients. It's applied to feed bacteria, fungi, earthworms, and microarthropods. Once those organisms are active, nutrients cycle continuously without spikes or crashes. A common Amish compost application ratio is roughly 1 inch of finished compost spread across the soil surface once or twice per year. That inch contains slow-release nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, and trace minerals, but more importantly, it delivers carbon. Carbon is what fuels nutrient cycling. Without enough carbon, nitrogen leaches away or burns plants. With enough carbon, nitrogen becomes stable and available exactly when plants need it. They never leave soil bare because exposed soil breaks the nutrient loop. Bare soil is considered a mistake, not a neutral condition. When soil is exposed to sun and wind, microbial populations collapse and nutrients oxidize or wash away. Amish gardens are always covered, either with crops, cover plants, or organic mulch. This constant cover keeps nutrients moving through biological channels instead of escaping into the air or groundwater. A classic Amish mulch layer is, well, about 3 to 4 inches of straw, spoiled hay, shredded leaves, or even chopped corn stalks. This mulch breaks down slowly, first feeding the fungi, then the bacteria, which, creates a balanced nutrient release over time. Gardeners who mulch lightly or inconsistently often find themselves complaining about poor fertility simply because their soil never gets the chance to build a stable nutrient reservoir. Amish growers, they really do balance carbon and nitrogen with intention, not just guesswork. One of the strongest nutrient cycling rules they follow is maintaining a proper carbon to nitrogen balance in everything they add to the soil. Fresh manure, green weeds, and kitchen scraps are all high in nitrogen, while straw, sawdust, leaves, and wood chips are high in carbon. When these are mixed correctly, decomposition stays steady and nutrients, well, they remain plant available. A practical Amish-style ratio is roughly 3 parts carbon material to 1 part nitrogen-rich material by volume, whether you're composting or sheet mulching. So, for example, if you're applying 1 wheelbarrow of fresh manure, you'd pair it with 3 wheelbarrows of straw or leaves. This approach prevents nitrogen loss and, honestly, eliminates the need for synthetic fertilizers later on. They rely on slow nutrient release instead of, fast corrections. Fast-acting fertilizers create these short bursts of growth, and then you get deficiency right after. Amish growers avoid this cycle completely. They use materials that break down slowly, which allows nutrients to enter the soil food web gradually. Rock phosphate, wood ash in small amounts, bone meal and green sand are common because, well, they mineralize over time rather than dissolving instantly. A practical example is wood ash application. Amish gardeners use no more than 1 cup of sifted wood ash per 100 square feet, and that's applied just once per year. This provides potassium and calcium without disrupting soil pH. Excess ash is never used because, honestly, it shuts down microbial activity and locks nutrients away. Crop rotation is treated as nutrient management, not just pest control. While many gardeners rotate crops only to avoid pests. The Amish rotate to balance nutrient demand. Heavy feeders like corn, cabbage, and tomatoes follow legumes or compost-rich beds. Legumes, such as peas, beans, and clover, fix atmospheric nitrogen and leave it behind for the next crop. So, a common rotation sequence, just to give you an idea, starts with legumes in year 1, then moves to heavy feeders in year 2, followed by light feeders or root crops in year 3, and finally a cover crop. This sequence really ensures that nutrients are never mined faster than they are replenished. Cover crops are, frankly, non-negotiable for maintaining nutrient flow. They're not optional or just some seasonal experiment. They are, in fact, essential to nutrient cycling. Amish growers, for instance, will plant rye, clover, vetch, or oats whenever beds would otherwise sit empty. These plants, you see, capture free nutrients from rain and air, store them in their biomass, and then release those nutrients back into the soil when they're cut down. For example, winter rye is often seeded at a rate of 2 pounds per 1,000 square feet. In spring, it's cut before seed formation and left on the surface as mulch. This single practice, honestly, can add dozens of pounds of organic matter and stabilize nitrogen through the entire growing season. Manure is aged and respected, never rushed. Fresh manure is rarely applied directly to growing beds. Amish farmers, compost manure for 6 months to a year before use. This aging process stabilizes nitrogen, kills pathogens, and creates humus. Rushed manure application leads to nutrient burn, weed outbreaks, and soil imbalance. Aged manure is typically applied at a rate of 5 to 10 pounds per 100 square feet, depending on crop needs. Heavier applications are reserved for corn or squash beds, while lighter applications are used for greens and root crops. Tools and tillage are used sparingly to protect nutrient pathways. Excessive tilling breaks fungal networks and disrupts nutrient exchange. Amish gardens are cultivated shallowly or by hand whenever possible. Soil structure is preserved, so nutrients move through roots, fungi, and microbes instead of being exposed to air and erosion. Shallow cultivation of 1 to 2 inches is enough to manage weeds without collapsing soil biology. Deep tillage is reserved for initial bed preparation and avoided once soil health is established. These rules work because they are consistent, not complicated. The power of Amish nutrient cycling lies in consistency. No single input is relied upon. No season is skipped. Nutrients are always moving, always protected, and always balanced. This is why Amish gardens improve year after year instead of declining. If you want soil that feeds itself, plants that resist disease, and harvests that don't depend on store-bought inputs, these rules are the foundation. If this guide helped you rethink how you feed your soil, subscribe to Evergreen Garden, share this video with a fellow gardener, and leave a comment telling me which of these practices you're already using or planning to start.